a
was
target.
that rapper that he had an Airbnb and he had all this money and he had all these chains and they posted something with the address and he actually got shot and killed, I believe.
Oh, I've heard about that. I don't know who that was.
So
but
they looked at the address, they went in there, they robbed him, took all his money and killed him, I think. But you got to be careful. And the thing with the verification with Instagram, they put your full name.
That's what I don't like about the verification, because I never had my name on there before. I always just went by Turtle Girl Fit. But then I was like, well, I guess I'll do the verification thing, especially after talking to a bunch of my friends that have been verified for a long time. They're like, the blue check mark does help when it comes to what do you call it? Sponsorships and, other paid things and that kind of stuff. So I was like, all right, I guess, but I don't like having my name on there.
I tend to agree with you, but I do think it's probably about combating AI right now too, because there's so many people out there that just aren't real that are putting fake names out there. So at least if you have your name, we can, say, oh yeah, this is the real person that goes with. But
yep.
I was wondering because I was like looking, I'm like, I can't find Turtle Girl Fit anywhere. I just keep seeing Whitney. So I'm like, she must have dropped me from her other page or something. I'm like, what the hell? But no, I figured it was something like that. That something must have changed. But that's interesting. So you lost your Turtle Girl Fit handle, or
no,
is it still have it. It's still there, but it just says Whitney now.
Yeah, like on my actual page, it has just my name now. But then I sat back and was thinking, I was like, I don't know how many other people that are on the internet that have their names on there, So I was like, well, it's just a name. So I was like, I'm just going to be extra careful with like what I post and that kind of stuff. So,
and if you guys didn't know, like when Whitney talks about being a band geek, she was a legit band geek. Like I've seen the pictures. It's like braces, the flute. It's like that girl from American Pie.
Yeah, at
like
one time at band camp.
that was you. Like
I get
literally
that all the
you.
time. Yep.
And how from that, right? Getting no attention to, you said, being made fun of, to now where all these guys are gawking over you. And how is that transition? Do you still ever kind of think you're that same girl? Like, do you ever go back to that and you forget? I'm like, oh, I'm not that band geek anymore.
But no, I still think like that though. Cause like I still feel insecure about things sometimes, or I don't necessarily feel pretty all the time and that kind of stuff. Like half the time I wake up and I'm like, gosh, I got these bags under my eyes. I'm getting wrinkles. Oh my gosh, look at my neck is like sagging. But everyone's going to be their worst, critique or whatever you call it. But, critic. There you go. Yeah. There you go.
I always forget everything. So Tim usually,
I'm usually the guy to say the word, but I've been drinking a little bit, so I'm a little off right now. No, that's tough. Like you say, and it's funny because, I'm like a big critic too. I was talking about I don't like my voice. I don't like the way my voice sounds.
That's how I used to feel too.
Right? Like I hate
Everyone would complain about my voice.
We're in the wrong business, Tim, if you don't like your voice.
But this is the funniest thing I was going to say. I don't like the way my voice sounds. When I hear it, I'm like, God, I sound so high-pitched and nasally. But then I've been hearing everyone saying, oh man, your voice is great when you're doing the podcast. Yeah. I just want to
you had a
go
great...
to sleep to it. And okay, what the hell?
No, you had a great announcer voice and everything, but you do have a really soothing voice. So I see why people are like, oh, I go to sleep to it. Because it's very I don't hear it as a high pitch. I hear it's a lone, slow tone.
I am also kind of deepening it a little bit because I do find that it, like I say, because I hate it. I just hate the way it sounds.
Well, you kind of have the strip club DJ kind of vibe too.
I certainly do. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise.
Stage.
We've got Lexus. By the way,
Cinnamon, stage 2, stage 2.
If you were a stripper, what name would you go by?
We already got it.
No, but you can't go Turtle.
You can't go. Yeah, you can't use that.
Turtle's not a good nickname for.
I don't know. Maybe I've never thought about a stripper name.
Yeah, but I'm saying usually you got to go with either a car, food, a drink, or something like that, like Ferrari. Or,
Porsche.
Yeah. Also, I don't know why names like Cassidy, Jessica, and I'm like, that's just a regular name. What are we doing here? I want you to have something fun here, Superwoman. Okay, that's more like it, you know. But okay, so you can
Candy, Crystal. Yeah, I saw that.
I love that. I mean, we're making moves here.
We're there. Look at you guys.
If you guys want to buy the cup, you can buy the cup.
Yep, it's on. We got a Shopify account.
I need to make merch. That's one thing I need to get into. I've been telling myself that for years, and I just need to sit down and do it. That's the one thing is when it comes to being content creators, sometimes I just get just like down. I'm like, I don't want to do anything, you know, and then I got to remind myself like, hey, this isn't like a normal job. Like get your ass up and do stuff. So that's one thing I need to get my butt on because I want to make merch. I want to do.
Well, even the podcast is like, we got to do, you know, the reels and we got to go, you know how it is. We
so time
have
consuming.
the editors and then we have to post everywhere and there's different formats and it's a lot. And we're just starting from ground zero, right? We're not famous. We're not Joe Rogan. We're
sure you guys are.
I mean, we had
Sort of
Two
famous.
bees in a pod. What are
Sort
you
of
talking
famous.
about?
but we had the fighting league, right?
Yeah.
So California-ish. Some people know who we are, but other than that, no one other than the MMA community knows who we are. So we're starting the ground zero. Kylie, my girlfriend, she is basically does YouTube. She's professional in that. So when you said I need help,
Oh yeah.
she does. That's all for 10 hours a day. She's up there, and it's crazy what you have to do for each video. Like we have to do tags, description, and then we have to do the title,
Thumbnail.
and, thumbnail, and there's so many things that you playlist, and if you don't do all of them, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So it's really tough on all the things we have to do, and I feel your pain with it. I'm not a good-looking girl, so it's way even. I mean, Tim's pretty good-looking.
I'm pretty
He's
good.
got-
I got a nice rack on me. Trust me.
So it's
Trust
harder,
me.
right? We don't. It's easier if you're an attractive girl. Let's be honest. It makes things a lot easier. You
Yeah.
know, not that that's it, because
Yeah.
there's plenty of good-looking girls out there. But I think your niche is it's your goofiness.
Yeah.
You know, like it's funny. And then so let's get into your love life. Why not? Let's do it.
Sure.
Let's make it happen.
It's non-existent.
So what's going on? Like, so you must have a bunch of guys DMing you, hitting you up, all that good stuff. What's do you want a family? Do you want to get married? Do you,
Of course I do.
or are you happy because you're kind of a hermit, right?
I am a hermit,
Yeah.
and I like being alone. But I'm also the type of person that I like to be alone with my person. Like if I'm with someone and I want to be with them, then I want to be with them. You know, I don't mind being with someone. But other than that, I'm content being alone. And I think that's also a bad thing too, because I mean a good thing, but I don't put up with anyone's shit anymore. Like I used to be so like, yes, sir. Like they say jump and I'd say how high, you know, like that's how I used to be. Now I'm just kind of like, no, if you don't bring any positivity to my life, there's the door. Like, I don't need anyone bringing me down, being negative, telling me what to do or whatever. I just want to, like, in my partner that I have, if I ever have one, it's just kind of like we have our own worlds, but we still come together and have our own world together. Like, you do your thing, I do my thing, and then we still have our own time together, if that makes sense.
So you want kids, you want a family, because now I'd seem like I talk to a lot more people, and the whole kids thing is not as a big of a thing as it used to be, because let's be honest, they're terrible investments. You got to like clean their shit for like 3 years. You know,
like 18.
but then there's the other part where it's like, you know, your kid hits a home run or runs up to says, "Daddy, I love you." I'm like, you know how we are with our pets, and you know, like imagine if I have this little Chihuahua Duke. He's a little fat hot dog.
Yeah.
But imagine if he come up to me and be like, "I love you, Dad." I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, that's kind of cool."
Yeah.
But I look at everything. I'm a business guy, right? From a percentage, I'm like 90% of just putting up with just shit. You know, crying, complaining, financially, like it's a burden.
But I guess that's all part of it, you know. But I'm still,
Not sold on it.
yeah. I mean, I'm,
Kids are a bad investment.
well, if you look at it like business wise, but unless, you know, they are like a prodigy or something and they become like a football player or whatever, you know, that's like what, 1%. But I have no idea of the percentage. But of course, I want a family and all that. But at the same time, if it doesn't happen, I've kind of made my peace with it because, like I said earlier, I am 35. So my window's kind of closing at some point. But I don't know. Like, I'm kind of looking at it like how you do. But at the same time, when I think of like getting older and I'm old, then I'm like, who's gonna be around to like joke around with? Like, I want to be that old lady like that makes fun of their kids or their grandkids and that kind of stuff, and do stuff with them and that kind of, you know, just play around.
Well, we've actually talked about that as far as who's going to take care of you when you get old. That's what everyone says. Well, you don't have kids. Who's going to take care of you? Yeah, I can't wait to go into a retirement home. It's the best. It's
Be a
like
dorm
college
all over again, yeah.
all over again. You got people bringing you food, cleaning after you. I can't wait. They have like I imagine it like they have a big old TV screen. You go out there for like movie night, and I don't know. Like I think it sounds pretty cool. I'm ready. Like sign me up now.
I mean, I necessarily wouldn't say that I would want like my kids to take care of me, because my dad told me the same thing, and he knows, like, Dad, I got my own life. I don't want to have to take care of you. And he goes, put me in a home if you want. I said, say less, and you guys know how close I am with my dad, but I don't necessarily want my kids to take care of me. It's just like that seeing your, I guess, not necessarily your legacy, because people say that, but it's like, what is our legacy? What do you mean by that? Like, no one's going to know who we are in like 20 years.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll be dead. I don't care.
I was going to say they will, because they'll be doing 23andMe, and they'll be like, who the hell is this person, right? But
exactly.
No, that's one of those things too. Like in my family, I'm the last male on my side, so it's, hey, are you going to carry on the Brown family name? I'm like, there's enough Browns in this planet. I don't think it relies on me to keep the name going. But that's one of those things too. Like I think about quite a bit that I'm not planning on having any kids. It's one of those things that's it's not a matter of the bad investment thing. It's a lot of things, but that is one of those things that I saw when my grandmother got really sick, and it was one of those things where, wow, okay, this could happen to any of us at any time, and that is kind of a scary prospect to think about. Getting older. Getting older sucks.
I know. It's already starting to bother me. Like what I was saying earlier, when I was like, I wake up with bags in my eyes or my neck. Like, okay, so people always tell me like, oh, wow, you don't look 35. You look younger than what you actually do. I'm like, well, thanks. I've kind of always had that like younger looking gene. But of course now I get like Botox and that kind of stuff. But so if you, anyone that ever like notices or see me, like looks at me in person, like, yeah, your face is smooth or whatever. But if you look at a woman's neck and her hands, you can tell her age by her hands and her neck. And so like sometimes I see videos of myself and all I could see is my wrinkly neck. And I'm like, yo, what is that roll? There's like 7 different rolls in my neck. Like, and it's just because the skin's loosening. And I'm like, ugh, it grosses me.
No, you mentioned that earlier, and I'm like, yeah, because so many guys I remember sitting around talking like, you see her neck? Yeah, dude, what a neck she's got. Her,
I know, you
that
guys,
neck, that's a deal breaker.
I know you guys probably don't notice.
No,
like
we
women,
don't.
though, we like pick at ourselves.
No, I'm saying we notice things on us too, but I'm saying I think it's funny. Like that's not a thing we're worried about. It's not like I don't know that neck. It looks a little funky to me.
Well, I feel there's way more pressure on women for sure. Like I don't wish that on any, like being a woman is tough.
Yeah.
Like look at having kids.
You could get pregnant at any time.
That's the worst gig ever. Like, what does a guy have to do?
Yeah.
Have sex?
Well, that's also
another
thing I'm afraid of too about having kids. It's like, okay, like, whoa, I'm in, my mid-30s. If I have kids, I'm going to mess up my body, but a lot of women will say like, well, it's worth it because you have your child. I get that, but at the same time, it's like, I know it probably still bothers a lot of people,
Big time. I don't know very many women who've had a child and it hasn't drastically changed, the way they look, the way they feel, and in a lot of things,
And some women like don't change at all, and I'm like, damn, girl, like some girls I see, and they're like, I had 6 kids. I said, where?
Yeah, right.
Well, they're running. I mean, there's so much science now to how to eat, how to exercise. Yeah. So it's a little different now, but I mean, like I should be talking about that. I'm a 42-year-old male with no experience with kids, but I feel with the nutrition, working out now, it's different because back in the day, you're eating for 2 and they just shovel Big Macs in you. And I'm like, I can't shed this 80 pounds. I'm like, well, you were shoveling Big Macs in your mouth for 9 months, but
it's like I'm made out of Taco Bell, Twinkies, squirt, and meth. That's what I'm made out of. Thanks, Mom.
and you don't eat that healthy, right?
No, I mean, when I'm doing like my meal preps, then that's like my healthiest. But if I'm not doing my meal preps, my go-to are burgers and pizza and pasta.
And you're very particular.
Yes, I'm very picky.
You
that's
hate
probably
lettuce, right?
No, you know what? I could do lettuce now, but like
you used to hate lettuce.
Well, I mean,
it's like a Kosh all over again. A Kosh hates vegetables.
But I don't like any vegetables. I mean, I like corn and that kind of stuff, like, but not the healthy ones for you. But like, I still don't get lettuce on my tacos, but like I'll eat a salad, but it's covered in ranch dressing or something.
Right. No, yeah, we had a guy on and we started the fuck them veggies movement, and it's one of those things that he was basically saying that vegetables have a way of kind of weakening you, you know, believe it or not. Like they're giving you some nutrients, but they're also because of sort of their defensive mechanisms, they're basically sending like bad stuff your way. Like, you know, like when you cut an onion, right? It gives off that sort of thing. That's a preventative measure.
Yeah.
For, you know, and so those sort of things are happening that they're basically,
Well, he was
in a
saying
way,
there was
poisoning you or something? What was the term
Well, he
he
was
used?
saying there's no fight in a vegetable, right? Like a cow is going to run away,
or fight.
turkey, a fight or flight, like a piece of lettuce. Like you're just going to eat it and it's not going to do shit.
Yeah.
It's like it's a piece of lettuce.
It's just going to wilt away in your body. So
So when that enters your body, this is what he's saying, that it doesn't really do anything for your body, and it causes all kinds of inflammation.
yeah, and he says burgers are really good. That ground beef gives you so many nutrients and
I
protein.
try and eat a burger at least once a day because I'm always losing weight. Unfortunately, I just have I have crackhead metabolism. So I'm always trying to keep weight on. So I make sure and at least have one burger. If I eat anything during the day, it's a burger.
You making them yourself, or you like going to
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. I was just going to say, how do you In-N-Out? How do you like
Yep.
your burger?
I get a double single plain and French fries.
Have you done animal fries?
No, I mean, I've tried them, but it's not really like my forte,
Yeah.
you know?
All right, well,
But-
this interview's over. I'm done with you. Animal fry slander will not be tolerated.
That's got to be one of our sponsors. Is just In-N-Out.
Shout out to In-N-Out Burger.
Oh,
Come on,
man.
In-N-Out.
Thank you.
Let's,
I
let's
love
make this
In-N-Out.
happen.
I will eat all of your products right here on the podcast if you will sponsor us. I will just eat it all.
So talking about endorsements, who's your endorsements, or what do they call endorsers or endorsees? Tim, you should know this. What is it called?
I don't know the Dorse. They just call them the Dorse.
Collaborations or sponsorships or that kind of stuff. Currently, I don't really have any big ones. I do have one coming up. Oh yeah, you messaged me about it with the neon sign. Yeah, so I had that one coming up. So actually I just remembered I have to reply to their email to confirm my mock-up for my neon sign. But yeah, that's the only thing that I have in the works right now. Of course, there's so many creators online nowadays. It's harder. It's getting harder and harder to work with brands because they can take their pick from anyone. And now it's just basically like, okay, well, what's your engagement? How many followers do you have? Like, what do you stand for? But it's mainly like, what's your engagement and how many followers? So unless you're doing stuff for free or like just like a trade or collaboration, then it's hard to get bigger brands the smaller your pages.
I find like, and I'm probably guilty of that because I have a couple businesses and I try to find the people with 50,000 followers because they're still active, but they don't expect a lot. It's that niche right in there where I can get them to promote my product. Because once you get over like 1 million, like I've dealt with a couple of these guys. I have a nutrition line and they're like, oh, we want $3,000 a month. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'll give you half. Yeah. I'll give you half. And he's like, no, I want $3,000. I'm like, well, then that doesn't mean that you can't sell more than 6,000 if I'm giving you half. And I'm like, well, it's one of those deals where they don't want to guarantee anything. Yeah. They just want that monthly revenue. And it's like, well, I'm not gonna give you a monthly revenue if you don't think you can make more than a certain amount. But.
Yeah, because technically I'm supposed to be charging, I guess, $3,000 to $5,000 per post. Like if I was to work with a brand, But like I said, it's just kind of like they have their take of the pick of who they want now. So it's kind of like, okay, whatever.
Who's your dream endorsement? If you could have anyone, have you reached out to anyone, or do you have like an agent? You said you have an agency, right?
Well, for a part of my content, but like for like the comedy side, I'm not with anyone, which I've been actually thinking about. Like I need a manager because I miss so many emails and different opportunities, or half the time I'm like, is this even real? And then I don't even reply to it. Like I try and do, that's my problem is I get an email or something and I'm like, okay. And then I look and they're like, oh, we're this brand. But then I go look at the page and I'm like, I don't know if it's like real or not. They have followers, but you could buy followers and you could buy engagement. So it's hard for me to gauge stuff. And half the time I'm like, well, I'd better not risk it. And then I just don't reply. And that's bad for my, the page or whatever, or brand. But that's why I'm like, I want someone already in the field that could be like, no, this is legit. Let's get you in on this or whatever. But I totally lost my train of thought where I was going. What was the...
Who do you want? Who's your big In-N-Out, obviously? I don't think they do that, but
No.
how cool would that be?
Yeah, I don't think that they do that. But one of them I wanted to be a part of for a long time was Celsius, because they work with like a lot of different...
That's what's in here
Yeah,
all the time.
All of these right
Well,
now.
it's healthy. It's healthy. It's he
It doesn't give me
like
the
caffeine.
jitters.
I don't
No.
mess with energy
It's
drinks
perfect.
at all.
Yeah.
It's a perfect
It's
amount.
the only one that doesn't give me the jitters.
I agree.
Because like I get like really bad anxiety like all the time, and every energy drink would set off my anxiety. But I couldn't really drink energy drinks. I didn't really need to. I just like the taste of like sipping on something. I don't drink soda and that kind of stuff. I just drink water. But it's kind of just like a mental thing for me. Like even if it doesn't give me energy, I'm like, technically it is, even though it doesn't.
Celsius is the shit. If anyone doesn't know that yet, it's I don't know what I should know. Is I have like cases of it every week, but it is. It's like a healthy alternative to Red Bull. But yeah, you're right. You get that energy, but it's not over. Because I have anxiety too, and the thing people don't know about anxiety is it can do like you're talking about your neck, your chest, it can go anywhere. It has no bounds. I remember I was in college, 3 a.m., shot up, the room spinning. I'm like, this is it. I'm dying. Like I had a good run. I was like 22 at the time. I call a couple of my football buddies. I'm like, take me to the hospital. I'm dying. Like just straight up. I don't know about anxiety. I'm in college. Like, what do I have anxiety about? And you're in there and they're like, oh, you're fine. They give you a Ativan and you just feel like $1 million. But it's scary because the first time you don't know what's going on. Yeah. And so many people have it. It is out of control. I think it has something to do with their food, the low end energy drinks. And there's so much pressure. There's so much pressure online, and it's a different world we live in. But anxiety is a real thing, and it's hard because you want energy in the morning, right? But you don't want to end up in the hospital.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to find that happy medium. But so you want Celsius? What else? You gotta have a food one. You like food, right?
I do, but I don't know. I've never really had like a food one that at least not off the top of my head.
Just big meat. You just need big burger to get your back, right? Well, yeah, what would be my favorite potential?
Well, I can tell you, In-N-Out for sure. That's
In-N-Out's one, but I'll be honest.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A,
You both
maybe.
Chick-fil-A.
I don't know. I'm trying to think what would be number one for me. Probably a pizza place. Probably like Round Table or something like that. 'Cause that would be amazing.
I ordered Round Table before I came over here. So.
It is so good.
It's the best
Yeah.
fucking pizza.
That's
Am
what
I
I'm saying,
allowed
like-
to cuss on here?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I did
I've been
earlier.
refraining. So
Shit.
Yeah,
Let it fucking out.
Every other fucking word out of my mouth is a cuss word. But I've been trying to be professional. So.
Yeah. No, but I'll be honest. One of the things I'm like, I love In-N-Out, but I could not eat the same thing every day. That's what
can.
I know, but I can't. And that's what I'm saying.
I
Like
totally
for
could.
Round Table, I can get a different pizza every day. I can
Yeah.
get different stuff. Yeah, chicken garlic gourmet.
They have that
barbecue
slogan.
chicken.
They have the last honest pizza.
Yeah.
And it's like Pizza Hut, Little
It's trash.
Caesars. It's disgusting.
Domino's.
In-N-Out's like
Domino's trash.
It's like $1,000 for a pizza, but it's so worth
Oh yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like the
so
twist,
good.
the garlic twist.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
just dubbing it in ranch and just it's
Yeah,
the best.
we always had good round tables near us too. Growing up, like they always had like they were well maintained. They had nice video games
Yeah.
going on. So I'd go in there play the Neo Geo while I'm wait for my pizza to get ready.
Yeah.
Playing a little Bubble Bobble and Puzzle Bobble or whatever
Yeah.
it is in there. Shinobi. But yeah, no, it was a fun time. But yeah, that's interesting. I'm really happy that you're getting some success with what you're doing because, like I say, I think that you do it right. I think you're one of those people who is putting yourself out there, but you're not being dumb about it. You know what I mean? Like you say, you're maintaining certain things. You're being smart about putting your information out there, and I think that's really key. I think that's important for young girls to know. Like, be smart about what you're doing here. Yes, you are attractive. Yes, you have the ability to get a lot of attention for it, but just be careful of that attention because it can come from anywhere. So,
Oh yeah, and I think the benefit that we all had was like we never grew up with the internet, so we all were learning as everyone else was learning. Now it's like you give a child a phone and it's like they don't know the do's and don'ts and that kind of stuff, and they're all about the likes and like the attention and like what can I do now for more attention, when it's like no, you can't just do it for the likes of the attention, otherwise it's going to drive you nuts and it's going to.
And what I like about this, I talk about probably every episode, but I love that we don't have our phones on. It is so refreshing that we can engage. We got these earphones on, and it's so refreshing that, like, if we were doing this normally, we'd be on our phone.
Yeah.
We'd be like, oh, yeah, Brandon, shut up. You know, I'm just like looking at it. But
It's such a distraction.
yeah, this brings me so much joy. Just that, like, I can connect with people, have like a break from reality, and it is pretty fun.
Real conversations are starting to go by the wayside because people do not have the attention spans anymore, and I do feel that that's like I think Bo Burnham did a song about the internet where he says a little bit of everything all of the time, you know, and it's one of those things where it literally is a little bit of everything. Oh, I'm just going to go down this rabbit hole, and I'm going to go down that rabbit hole for days, you know, like. You know, it's one of those things. I'll jump on one particular like page, and I'm like, "Ooh, let's see what else they did." You know, like
you fall down that hole.
Totally. You know, like I like a lot of the different reactors on YouTube. It's one of my things where I never thought I'd get into that, but it is kind of fun watching someone react to a movie that you love for the first time or music that you love. And I have seen a lot of them have a lot of issues too, where they put up a video and it's down in 2 days, and there's like, I don't know what happened. I don't even know what I did wrong. Have you ever had that happen to you, where you put something up and then it just disappears? Or
Yeah, I mean, with TikTok, it was a problem for a long time because they had such these like weird guidelines where it was just like didn't make sense, or your videos would get flagged for like no reason, and then once they got flagged, it would hurt like the algorithm and that kind of stuff. So it started slowly like hurting my videos. But you had to be like really careful, and so I would notice, like, say for instance, like if I was to have like a low cut shirt on but like have pants on or whatever, but the fact that I had a low cut shirt on, if I did something, I would get flagged. But if another girl had a bikini on but she was like less attractive than I was or something like that, and she wouldn't get her video flagged for doing the same thing. And I was like, they're kind of going off, like, I guess, attractiveness. And so I started noticing that, and they were like, oh, this is like sexually explicit, or it's, I forgot the terminology that they use, but it's too vulgar in that department. And I'm like, yo, I have like pants, a sweater on, and a V-cut shirt on. You could barely see any cleavage. So like, what? And I'm not even doing anything bad in the video. It's just the fact that I don't know, I feel like they pick on some creators. But I haven't had, knock on wood, I haven't had a video taken down in a long time because I was like, you know what? Fine. And so I wear sweaters, I wear t-shirts, or I wear baggy clothes. You know, like on my TikToks, I was like, okay, if you want to play that game, then I'm going to go extra PG. You know?
Have you done paid ads at all or anything like that? Or have you gone that route to get more followers, or like to boost your post, or does that work?
Oh, like to pay to boost?
Yeah, because you know you get those things like, so.
To promote?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a couple of that with like my TikTok videos to see if it would help. And like sometimes it did, but then I noticed like a drop in views afterward, and I feel like TikTok was kind of like punishing people. And so it's like, oh, look at the traffic that you'll get when you pay, and then when you don't pay, you don't get any traffic. And because they wanted people to start paying. And I was like, oh, okay. But then for a little bit, I was like, all right, I'll play your game. And then every so often I would pay like $40 or something. I never paid anything like ridiculously, but like a little bit to see if it would help boost. But then after that, I was like, you know what? If it don't get views, screw it. I don't care. And so I was like, I stopped paying it because it was, I don't know, a little while ago that I was like, every once in a while, I'm like, $40, why not? You know, it's an investment. It's a write-off anyways, you know? But I didn't really
write-off.
Yeah, it is. It's technically a write-off for advertising or, you know,
right.
whatever.
I do think you're missing a bit of an opportunity here, if you don't mind my saying this, that you're saying I cannot wear this sort of, you know, risque kind of clothing, so you got to cover it up. Why not go with a turtleneck? You're a turtle girl fit. Why not have a turtleneck? You could be turtleneck girl fit, right? maybe you get the turtleneck people to back you up. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was just thinking like, oh my God, that'd be perfect. You wear a turtleneck as your turtle girl.
Well, I have a Ninja Turtle onesie that I would wear for some of the videos and stuff like that. So it's funny because sometimes people, they'd see a video of mine and then they'd write in the comments like, I'm disappointed that this didn't have the Ninja Turtle onesie. And I'm like, I can't wear it in every video.
Was that with you that we went in like a Mexican restaurant with our onesies? There's like a onesie party. Was that you?
I did come to the onesie party, but
no, there was one where we went. It was, I guarantee it was with you, and we got to go like at a Mexican restaurant, and we had pajamas on, and everyone's looking. I'm like, what is everyone looking at? I'm like, oh yeah, we're in onesies.
Didn't we go to Target too or something?
I forget what it was.
I had such a bad memory though.
But everyone was looking at us. I remember we got to go, and and everyone was staring. I'm like, what is everyone staring? And I'm like, oh yeah, I have a tail
Sure,
on.
like a 6 foot something.
And
it
you
was
know?
a giraffe or whatever. Yeah.
It wasn't even like Halloween either,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
you know. And I'm like, oh, that's probably why. But so, and you have a new house, right? Did
I don't want to.
Oh yeah.
See,
That's the same thing it said to me last time.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, we got that.
Okay. Sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
that's all right.
We're still learning, folks. We're still dealing with
I
technical
know.
stuff
If I
here.
would have known, I would have brought my other phone.
Oh, you're good. You're good. That's on us. We got to get better at that. It's on me mostly, but yeah.
But
Yeah.
so you're saying?
You got a new house we're
Yes.
building. How exciting is that?
I'm super excited. So that is like a whole other thing where I'm just kind of like, wow, like this is never anything that I ever thought that I could do on my own. And of course I get criticized for like how I'm doing it. It's like, oh, you can get money from your OnlyFans. And I'm like, yeah, but now I have a house. Like,
Yeah.
but no, I'm super excited. It should be done in like December. So it's a pre-built, but I got to design like the inside and everything like that. So like, yeah, like I was saying, I never thought this was ever going to be like a possibility for me. I mean, here I thought I was going to live past 30. So shoot, let alone move out of my dad's house.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, you and your dad have always been super close from everything that I've been hearing. And also the other thing, too, is like, yeah, there are people going to criticize you for OnlyFans, but like, you know, I had to do a lot of teeth whitening and a lot of stuff there,
yeah.
too, you know, and you were doing a lot of side hustles to make money. And
I was working my ass off.
big time. You were working probably 5 times as much as you were now, but
Yeah.
making 1/10 the amount of money
yeah.
and not enjoying yourself as
No.
much. Why? I don't see the problem here. You know what I mean?
And it's like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing, because it's like, and I was so proud of myself. Like, oh yeah, I went to, you know, graduated high school with, you know, honors and straight A's in college, and then I had like a regular job, and I busted my butt for it, and it was kind of like, oh, look at me, I have entitlement. But at the end of the day, no one fucking cares. No one cares. But when it comes to, you turn the tables and it's like, look at me, I make like decent money now doing OnlyFans. Oh, all of a sudden now everyone cares of how you're making your money. But it's like I said, no one cared before, you know? So it's like, for what? What am I stressing myself over? Not being able to live my life, not being able to travel or take care of my dad. I was able to let him retire because I'm able to be financially responsible for myself and for him, you know? So that's why I was like, it's worth it. People want to criticize me for it. Fuck them.
Yeah,
It just comes down to envy. I mean, it's one of those things. I wish I could, you know, post a picture of myself and get a bunch of likes for it. It's just not going to happen. You know,
like,
it's one of those
someone would
things.
be like, it must be nice. I'm like, yeah, it fucking is, because I busted my ass. I'm tired.
Well, you're
Like,
you're 35 years old, right?
Yeah.
It's like I think it does you a favor if you have those kind of people in your life, right? Like you're a grown ass woman, you can do what you want, but I don't think you want people in your life like that are going to be like, oh, like you do that or you do this, or you know, it's you're, like I said, a grown ass woman, you know, and you don't want people like that in your life.
Exactly. That's why I've really isolated myself in the past couple of years to just kind of like focus on, you know, this kind of venture, because like my, you know, the internet's not guaranteed, you know, and so sometimes people know that I'm at home. They're like, hey, you want to hang out? You want to do this? I'm like, no, I got work to do. And they're like, what kind of work do you got to do? And I'm like, actually a lot of stuff, because my paycheck's not guaranteed, you know. It's actually more stressful. It's like, oh yeah, you get a 9 to 5 and you have that like stable income. And they're like, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to do all this stuff. I want to be financially stable and have more time to yourself. It's like, technically we're working 24/7.
Thanks for watching Two Bees in a Pod. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, and thank you for all the love and support.